Yo, ladies and gentlemen, let me be the first to tell you that I have been waiting. I have been waiting to get to this track right here, and I'm glad it's finally here. Roll it. Welcome back to the channel, everybody. Channel's name is TheThirdErnest. I'm Ernest Ariano the Third, y'all guys' third family. If you're new here and you're not subscribed and you like what you see at the end of the video, consider clicking the subscribe button bottom right hand corner. Now, anybody that knows me knows that I am a huge fan of Lil Dicky. I personally believe he is one of the better, if not top 10, if not top 5, definitely top 10 rappers in the game today, especially from the newer generation. The dude's conceptual ideas, the dude's pen game, his similes, metaphors, wordplay, the way he brings a concept completely to life. It's something that nobody else can do. On top of that, he can be with the funny raps, but even the funny raps are hard. It's not even like a gimmick that he's funny. It's these raps are fucking hard and they just happen to be funny, you know? So for a long time, people have been requesting and have been telling me, hey, yo, Lil Dicky or Russel Westbrook on a farm. And I have purposely for 2 years, put off listening to this track, but I'm finally able to get to it, and I'm getting to it because of a Patreon request. The request today comes from Nicholas. I want to say it's Theo or Theo, I'm not too sure. But yo, Nick, I appreciate your Patreon membership, my guy, and I appreciate heavily the request for this track because it's one that's been long overdue and I've been missing out on greatness from what I hear. So that's really all that I gotta say. Follow your boy on Instagram and on Twitter at TheThirdErnest, just like the channel. The links are down in the description below, along with the Discord link below, and we got Russel Westbrook on a farm. I'm fucking hype. Let's get it. Oh. I thought that the album artwork or the video artwork was a joke because nothing was quite the way it used to be before. That's obviously a play on Drake's album, Nothing Was the Same. This was 7 years ago, so I want to say it was around the same time that this album was out as well. And this is one of the hardest beats on that album. I'm fucking hyped. This is one of my favorite tracks on this album.
Ain't no doubt about it, shit is coming. And I'm just praying that Lil Dicky love it. Always told myself that this the type of shit I wanted. I was being honest, even made a promise. Not with anybody else, this was in the conscious. Talking to my fucking self, that's a little bonkers. I know.
Dog, I love when he talks about the fact that he talks to himself. Like he knows that this dream that he wanted, I hope that the Lil Dicky inside of me is fucking with, is turning this dream into reality. And once it becomes reality, I hope that it's exactly everything that we wanted.
Talking to my fucking self, that's a little bonkers. I know. I still got a lot of shit to conquer. I hope that ain't even my concern though. You know I'll be working till I get what I deserve. Whatever totems I can personally, you know I'ma earn those. Ooh. This ain't even about some shit up on a checklist. This about the fact that I'm about to test this. This
ain't even about some shit up on a checklist. This is about I'm about to test this. I'm about to see if I could even be about this dream that I have. You might think it's just a check mark, I got to the goal. Nah, it's all about the process of seeing that goal come into reality. It's fire, bro. When someone asks you, when you go to an interview, where do you see yourself in 5 years? Where do you see yourself in 10 years? Most people don't know how to answer that question. He knew that this was gonna be his reality. That's dope.
This about the fact that I'm about to test this. I'm about to figure out what my best is. I can't avoid it because now your boy invested, and I ain't got a choice except to smile and accept it. Pretty reckless, pretty restless, cause I've lived my life.
Pretty reckless, pretty restless. I'm invested into this. I dove in head first. I have no option. I left my comfortable 6-figure job that I could have been rolling. I could have gone the executive route, but that wasn't me. So I dove head first into me, and we got no option other than to see it through.
Pretty reckless, pretty restless, cause I've lived my life expecting love to come the second my attempt was done. And yeah, I guess to some extent I was correct because I'm getting buzzed, but now I'm about to be ubiquitous. Ooh. Look it up, yeah.
Look it up, ubiquitous. That's one of my favorite Lil Dicky flows, when he goes off and he goes da 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 da, when he goes off beat but it's still on beat. That's one of my favorite type of deliveries that he does. It's like a signature delivery.
Yeah, or that's at least what I'm assuming. But as alluded to, reality is looming, and now your dude about to make a move and take the truth and hope to God that when he threw that what he thought about is proven. But honestly, I'm not afraid that it's delusion. I'm hot enough to where I know it's not illusion. But obviously, I've been finding this confusing. This ain't even close to what I thought I would be doing. Don't get me wrong, I was born.
You see, like how he's talking about just. And there's really no bars to break down. He's talking pretty straightforward about like I had to go out and get it. He said your dude about to make a move, and what he talked about is about to be truth, like it's gonna come true. And I hope that at the end of the day you realize that the talk that he talked, he walked that walk, and then he proved he could be exactly who he knew he could be. Like those lyrics are fire, dog. Just having that inner self-confidence. And then on top of that, he's like it's like this is what I wanted, but it's still confusing because this is who I am, but this isn't the route that I thought that I would ever go in life. You know, I never thought that I would be here. It seems very surreal.
Don't get me wrong, I was born to be big, but I always figured it would be the comedy thing. So I started rapping just to see what drama it brings. What big dogs from sitcoms would holler at me. And as the time passed, I rhymed fast, the lines crafted was high class as I mastered my crafting. Goddamn, who'd have thought it'd get like this? Back in 2010, music wouldn't make that list. I'm talking top.
Dog, back in 2010, music wouldn't make that list. Music wouldn't make the list of the things that I would be doing. If you don't know anything about Lil Dicky or David Bird, like he wanted to be a comedian. He wanted to be on TV. Like he kind of wanted to take the route of Childish Gambino, Donald Glover. That was the dream, was to be a comedy star. And he started doing the raps so that way he could get that traction in his name. Like, hey, you hear about this white dude doing these funny raps, and then somebody might sign him. As he was doing the raps and started picking up traction, honing his craft, he's like, yo, I could be great at this. Like that's the confusing thing. Like, why am I here in music when my dream was to be in TV, but I seem to be doing better in music than I ever could have dreamed on TV? Damn, that was a fucking bar that I just spit.
Damn, who'd have thought it'd get like this? Back in 2010, music wouldn't make that list. I'm talking top 5 to 10 strengths with no wings. I would not lie, my pen dry with no ink, or that's at least what I thought, till I clawed and scratched the pen till I saw a line draw. Then I could have let.
I clawed and scratched the pen until I saw a line drawn, like literally like a line drawn in the sand, like he has to cross, and literally the start and the butt of his career wouldn't even been top 5 or top 10 things that he thought he would be great at.
I thought till I clawed and scratched the pen till I saw a line draw. Then I could have let bygones be bygones, but I really wanted to rhyme till my line drawn. Like where the fuck is my peak at? Not brown, but I make it pop, then I beat that. Not crown yet, but
not brown, but I make it pop and I beat that, dog. Holy fuck! Like Chris Brown, the Chris Brown has a song "Poppin'" on his debut album, and then he also obviously beat up Rihanna, and Rihanna, like it's you know the whole deal, you know the story behind it. I'm not gonna go into it, but that was a bar. Not brown, but I popped off and I beat that. It's fire.
Not brown, but I make it pop, then I beat that. Not crown yet, but I don't think I decreed that. Not loud, but you know I'm ready to tweet that. I just really hope I'm ready to be that. Now you seeing where D's at, cause even though I'm softer than the tissue, I ain't nothing to sneeze at. I'm smarter, where the fuck your degrees at? And I ain't harder, but I'm hotter, homie, where the fuck your degrees at? I'm about to come in and desaturate the sheet rap today.
Yo, he said, I'm about to come in and desaturate the rap. I paused it before he finished, but like, because he's white, so he's desaturating, like he's bringing down the color scale. And he said, I'm smarter, where y'all degrees at? I'm hot, I'm where the degrees at. Like a bachelor's degree, master's degree, but also temperature degree. And he said, I'm soft as a tissue, but I ain't nothing to sneeze at. Ooh.
I'm about to come in and desaturate the sheet rap today and evaporate the feedback I hate, I elaborate at a later date. But I'm getting off the point with the player hate. What the fuck was I saying?
I'm getting off the point with the player hate, dog. Like we started out talking about how he never thought that he'd be here, but then he started getting like in that angry vibe, like y'all are player hating on me, like take my ass serious. Literally, he got off topic in the track. I don't know, what was I talking about before? That's dope.
What the fuck was I saying? Yeah, I'm kind of a slave to my ambition. I ain't quitting till my shit is appraised, and I admit it, I predicted where I finish is crazy. but that just means that it's further away. So
I'm a slave to my ambition. That's fire. Especially considering like he has songs like he's let relationships go because of the ambition that he has as a person. Like he knows that no one could be by his side for him to see this thing out. And he left the girl, just like in the show Dave, or just like in the song Molly. He knew he could have been happy with that girl. He could have had the love that he wanted, but he's a slave to his ambition, and that would always come first. It's fucking dope.
So, Bird about to work until he turned in his grave. It's really burdensome when earning something's fun for the day. But I'm concerned about the burning out from upping the stakes. I'm always upping the stakes. I'm
concerned about the burning out from upping the stakes. I'm always upping the stakes. Like I'm always reaching for the next goal. You accomplish so much, but then but once you accomplish that, you can't even bask in your accomplishment. You're always looking for the next thing and the next thing and the next thing. It gets tiring.
Inner meetings in New York, always up for the stakes. We exploring the discussion, the great. They assuring me that when I'm more elite, I'll be secure and amazed. But this isn't insecurity, man. Like, this the opposite of that. Confidence and fade. My biggest problem is I can't honestly relax, because inside of me a damn odyssey and acts. And I made a promise that I can't be the body to stop and to think I need a lobotomy. Lil Dicky, the prophecy, little bit of anomaly. Not a commodity, not a facade or a lot of the comedy. Prodigies commonly brought up with Dicky. Feeling weird,
God damn, that fucking scheme, dog. The comedy prodigy at the end of the day, but that's not, I mean, that is who he is supposed to be, but that's one of the things that I have a love-hate relationship with David Bird, because like he is so good at rapping. But I feel like at the end of the day, because that wasn't his one true goal or his passion, like we're never going to get the career from Lil Dicky that we could get. And he could go down as one of the best ever. And I can't even hate on it because we finally got the show Dave, which is what he was kind of wanting. And it was fire. The show was fire. Like there's nothing that I didn't want it to be trash, because I wanted to see what his creative process, what he could do with the show. And it was amazing. But if it was trash, that means we would have been able to get Lil Dicky, the rapper's career, in the way that we hoped for it. So it's like a lose-lose and a win-win. It's a strange place to be as a fan of Lil Dicky.
The prodigies commonly brought up with Dicky. Feeling weird, let me think of an analogy. Just imagine for a second, what if Russel Westbrook never knew his own mentality? Grew up on a farm where the biggest commonality was people that conform to the ruralist locality.
Hold the fuck up. I was so confused why the title was Russel Westbrook on a farm. Is he about to go on and do like, imagine if Russel Westbrook grew up on a farm? If he didn't grow up the way he grew up, we would never know the greatness in terms of basketball that Russel Westbrook became as a player. Like everything that shaped Russel Westbrook and everything that we love about him, if he grew up on a farm, the world would never even know who he was. Is that where we're going with this? Holy fuck, dog.
Just imagine for a second, what if Russel Westbrook never knew his own mentality? Grew up on a farm where the biggest commonality was people that conform to the ruralist localities. To Russell, though, it was nothing but normality, and he really nice up on the plow in actuality. Everybody liked the kid and dug his personality, and so the mutuality was somewhat rationality. So that
dog, you hear what he's going on? Do you hear this? He's like, what if Russel Westbrook grew up on a farm and he was nice with the farming shit? He was nice with it, and he conformed to all of the rural rules of like living that rural farm lifestyle. We would never know who he was, like the potency that he has on the court. Dog, this is fucking wild.
So the mutuality was somewhat rationality. So then your man made a plan of practicality. Not even a plan, it was more of a formality. Get a little land and attend to its vitality, then raise a little fam till it all became finality.
Dog, he said, yo. He said, what? So he's nice with the farming shit, and so he made a plan, but really that plan was just a formality, bro. That's fucking hard. Like the plan and the dream that he wanted of getting like the farm and the family and living in total happiness until his totality, until his death. Like his finality, like that plan, that's not even his thought. That wasn't even his plan. That was the plan that was ingrained in him for living on the farm, because that's what everybody else did. So it wasn't his plan. It was just a formality that this is like this is what you do when you grow up on a farm. You do the same exact thing. Dog.
Then raise a little fam till it all became finality. The strategy was just to stay in the course and do your chores. When you're happy, you ain't need to abort. Never explored nothing unless he roll around on his horse. The one day he was up on his horse.
See, like never explored nothing unless he was up on his horse. Like he was just living. He was living in a bubble that everybody did the same thing. So he thought that this was the only way to life. This is all that we could do. Like as long as I have my family, I got my crops, I got my land, and I die a happy man, and that's all that there is to life, you know. Until he got up on his horse and started exploring.
Never explored nothing unless he roll around on his horse. The one day he was up on his horse, that's when he went past the porch. The path he normally passes forth was fast and short, was after more, went faster north. The master lord, a master more, and then discovered the court. He like, yeah.
See that like that Dicky flow? That's my fucking favorite shit from Lil Dicky.
The master lord, a master more, and then discovered the court. He like, yeah. Let me down, Tim.
Yeah.
Hopped off, looking puzzled at the round rim.
Like, yeah, like holding up the horse. Let me down, Tim. Looking puzzled at the round rim. Like, what the fuck is this?
Hopped off, looking puzzled at the round rim. Saw a ball up in the corner on the ground, and Russell started dribbling and giggling, astounded. Then he shot a brick and then a brick and then he downed it. And when he hit it, Russell listened to the fucking sound friction up in the swish make, and he was confounded.
Dog, he listened to the sound friction that a swish made, dog. Like, do you just hear, like, it's so visceral. I could see, if I close my eyes, I could see it. I could see him pulling the reins on the horse. Like, what the fuck is this? Hold up. What is this round? I saw the ball. Like, he's just like putting it together. The confusion. Brick, 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 swish. Holy fuck, like the light bulb goes off in his head. This is a metaphor for Lil Dicky and the life that he lived. Like, he was a white guy, grew up in small suburb Philadelphia. His parents had money, like, so his job was to go and get the corporate degree, was to get the 6-figure, 7-figure job. And that is the life that he wanted to live until he got on the mic and saw his potential and his possibility. Like, him stepping so far outside of what the normality would be for someone in his position. He had it all handed to him. And he could have lived that life just like Russell Westbrook could have until Russell fucking found the basketball, until Dicky found the pen. It's fucking nuts, dog.
Russell listened to the fucking sound friction up in the swish make, and he was confounded because he knew that he had found him. But right now it was
confounding because he knew that he had found him. You know what this reminds me of? It reminds me of Kick Push by Lupe Fiasco. He said first got it when he was 6, didn't know any tricks. Matter of fact, first time he got on it, he slipped. He landed on his hip and bust his lip. For a week he had to talk with a lisp like this. Now we could end the story right here, but shorty didn't quit. There was something in the air. Yeah, he said it was something that's so appealing he couldn't fight the feeling. Something about it. He knew he couldn't doubt it, couldn't understand it. Branded since the first kick flip he landed.
Make, and he was confounded because he knew that he had found him. But right now it was still for the fun, just a way to kill the time when the farming was done. Then the walking turned to running and the hopping turned to jumping and dunking, and Russell had to keep coming because the youngin' was fucking disgusting and loving and running it. All of a sudden the public started to come in abundance and fuck with him cause he was butter and hungry cause stories are glory. Now normally for people like him, then the word got around.
Dog. You know what's crazy about the story is that, like, at first I thought he was saying, like, what if Russell Westbrook grew up on a farm? We would never know. We would never know the potential that he had. But now I feel like the story is more like even if Russell Westbrook grew up on a farm, he would still see his dream out because there was no way to stop the force that he was in terms of basketball. And I feel like that's exactly what Lil Dicky's story is like. Like, he is so good at the pen. He is so naturally gifted and talented as a rapper that even if he started from the opposite end of what you would think a rapper comes from, he was still gonna get to the point that he's at. That's fucking fire, dog. Holy shit.
Now normally for people like him, then the word got around up to ESPN, and they flying Russell down to compete in the gym. Bunch of grown men looking to belittle the kid because to those men, ball was the reason to live. And the goats, they been all in since they was kids. So this goat on the motherfucker look like a dick, and even though Russell knows that, he doesn't submit.
And the goat on this motherfucker looked like a dick, dog. And he's talking about himself. And it's so dope that he decided to write this song on top of a Drake beat, dog. On top of a Drake beat off of the album, Nothing Was the Same. And then like he said, nothing was quite the way it used to be before. Because the way it used to be, all of the formalities of the life that he came from, none of those could hold him back from being what he was destined to be. In the same way that Drake, like, he was in Canada, he's Jewish, he's half white, like, he came from middle class. It's not exactly the story that you would think from one of the greatest rap entertainers of all time. But yet Drake's force was enough that he was gonna see his way all the way to the top, and he did, just like Russell Westbrook and just like Lil Dicky. And the story just goes on even further, like with Lil Dicky basically being that outsider to the rap game. Everybody lived their life. This is the passion. This is all that they knew. So they look at him like a fucking outsider, like, what the fuck is this kid gonna do? Not knowing the talent that he has, the force that he is. Yo, I've been fucking missing out for 7 years, 8 years.
So this goat on the motherfucker look like a dick, and even though Russell knows that, he doesn't submit. He just chills with a grin, and then the game started, and this motherfucker take charge, make it rain hard, D up on these bitches, making children of men, looking better than his predecessors ever could get, turn the animosity to respect. And then the Thunder called him, said they heard a lot about the ballin', told him that they wanna get involved in, showed him all the shit that you can get up in the league is so appalling. Oklahoma City in the autumn, hella pretty awesome, everybody laud them, every bitty looking like they're really fucking falling, condominium is so legitimate it's sprawling, and this motherfucker on the court straight ballin', cash all of.
Holy fuck, this song is fire. Shit. Everything that I just thought was coming is exactly what's here. And what's crazy is that he's telling this story, this completely fictional story of Russell Westbrook, but all I am seeing is Lil Dicky. Like, as he's telling the story, I'm understanding the metaphor and putting it in Lil Dicky's eyes. Like, everybody thought that this dude was fucking whack. They just thought that he was corny raps. They thought that he was funny until he actually started spitting shit. And the animosity for him and the lack of respect that they thought that he had for the game, it turned into respect for him because they clearly saw that, like, yo, this dude is the truth. And he's taking this rap career and he's taking all of this talent further than anybody would have ever thought that he could take it.
Brawling, and this motherfucker on the court straight ballin', cash all up in that ass, lolling at the past like, where the fuck would I be at up on the other path, right? If I never stumble upon the game and think of that life. Shit. Who taking care of my farm?
God
Who taking care of my farm?
Who's taking care of my farm after all of that? After everything that he accomplished, he's still wondering about that past life.
Who taking care of my farm? Who taking care of my farm? Who taking care of my farm?
I really love that farm.
K. 500 million, now that's a pound cake, according to Jay-Z and Drake. But greatness ain't about cake.
But greatness ain't about cake. It ain't about the money. It's about what you do on the mic. Dollar bills, y'all. Dog. Whoo, son. That shit was fucking hard. Holy fuck. Now I know why everybody was like, Russell Westbrook on the farm, you gotta do it. It's a must. I'm not at a loss for words because I'm telling you all of my explanation of what I'm thinking, but I am at like a loss for words. Like, damn, the storytelling capability, the rhyme schemes, some similes and metaphors in there, you know, going off tangent and coming back and talking about it and using a fucking 3-minute metaphor for everything that he is, his entire life and up to the point that he is now. And just to think that, like, when you think of Russell Westbrook on the farm, never becoming the artist, never becoming the ball player he could become, but Lil Dicky is like, nah, that force was never gonna be stopped by anybody. And that is him. That is him on the mic. That is Lil Dicky on the mic. Dog. Fire. I greatly appreciate this request. Who requested it again? Hold up. Nicholas Style. Dope ass request. I'm glad you got it in on Patreon, and I appreciate you supporting Patreon first off, and everybody else that supports Patreon. If you're watching this and you get enough content and they get enough value out of my content, please support the Patreon if you can, because that's the only way that I can still remain on this mic doing these things for y'all. But yo, the request was fire. I'm glad that I finally got a request for it so that way I could get to it. Yo. That brings us to the end of this video, ladies and gentlemen. If you like what you see, please consider liking the video, leaving a comment down below. If you like what you see enough, please consider subscribing. Breakdowns, long form feedback, analysis, thoughts, it's all commentary. It's all part of this channel. So this is if this is your vibe, hit the subscribe button along with the notification bell. Follow your boy on Instagram, Twitter, Discord, all of those things linked in the description below. Like I said, please consider supporting the Patreon if you can. That's the only way that this channel goes and continues to go, and it means everything to me for the people that support. If you can't support, just liking the video, leaving a comment, subscribing, all of that free activity helps get the channel in front of other people, and that means everything. But that's really all that I got for you today, ladies and gentlemen. I appreciate your time. Like I always say at the end of all of my videos, go out there in the world, love and care for one another, love and care for each other, and I'll catch everybody on the next video. Peace.